everyone, I'm Megan with Twice as Nice Recruiting. We build every search from scratch. We have a 9.9% placement fee, and we guarantee your placements for 18 months. And I'm super excited to talk with everyone today, but especially with Austin. Austin's a client manager here at Twice as Nice Recruiting, and Austin has done some really fantastic placements for us. Two that I want to talk about are for a COO and a CEO position, right, Austin? So tell me a little bit about this client and why they needed to fill two of these roles.
Yeah, so this client's an institutional sporting goods company. So they're nationally known, very well established, but they're in a turnaround period. And so we started their COO search. What they were really looking for is somebody to really improve their operations. And then CEO ended up resigning, taking another opportunity, and so we had to put that on pause and search for a CEO. So that nearly derailed us on the COO because we had some fantastic candidates that we had found, but we were able to find them a CEO that's in the sporting goods industry that met all their needs.
What are some of the challenges that you find when placing these higher roles, these C-suite level roles, but especially for a CEO?
Yeah, so the challenges are immense. With a company like this client, where they're a turnaround company, we need somebody that has that turnaround experience, going in and updating processes, implementing new processes that need to be in place. And really getting the company back to the performance that they've historically been. And so we needed somebody that exemplified that in their career. We didn't want the client didn't want an executive that had a lot of longevity at one place. They wanted to see somebody that had experience and exposure through different industries, but most importantly, that their majority of their experience was in this sporting goods industry.
Sometimes when you know, I guess.
Yeah.
What were some of the lessons that we learned from the CEO search that then could maybe have been applied to the COO search to have these really fantastic candidates join our client?
Yeah, one of them was that we just had this extensive list of companies to go after and executives that we had already, spoken to and reached out to. And so we were able to kind of leverage that to identify some really strong COO talent from those companies. In addition to that, the recruiters did a fantastic job of, building relationships with those CEO candidates that we interviewed, and we even asked for recommendations from them, for COOs because, honestly, one of the best recruiting tools that's often overlooked is referrals, and so when we can get those, it's fantastic.
So, okay, we finally found the CEO, and now we're looking for the COO. We've got some candidates. How did the COO candidate search go? And then when was that placement finally made?
Yeah, so it was going to be a unique situation because I was going to be working with the new CEO that we had just placed there. So we were going to develop a relationship and have to work together, and I need to understand his needs and all. But we were able to really quickly understand what they were looking for. It was really just kind of an addition to the previous COO search that we'd started and had to put on pause with a couple of tweaks. They really wanted us to find somebody that had that institutional sporting goods background. And so, taking that list and the network that we had developed from that CEO search, we really leveraged it to find somebody that exemplified the operational experience that they needed, but also had that sporting goods understanding and really the knowledge of how hard goods are made and manufactured.
Had you ever looked for a CEO and a COO kind of at the same time for one client before, or was this kind of new territory for you?
This was new territory in the sense of actually, because we placed their CFO as well. So we've placed all executives for them recently. So this was new territory there, but was definitely fun and a great learning experience. Because of the relationship that the senior recruiter built with the candidates, it really helped us understand for each search the personalities that were in place there and who's going to mix well with them.
Well, any lessons learned from these several C-suite level searches that we did for this client that could be applied to other C-level searches in the future?
Yeah, I think I was thinking about that question actually, and I think one of the biggest lessons learned was, to not shy away from being very industry specific. Sometimes in recruiting, we tend to try to broaden it to open the talent pool as much as possible, and sometimes that's absolutely necessary if the salary is just barely competitive. But when salary is competitive, benefits are competitive, and the opportunity is one that's worth going after. It helps to really leverage those networks that I mentioned earlier.
Fantastic. Are we going to do any more placements for them in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're waiting for the COO to start. So he's got another week or so before his start date, and then once he's in place, we plan on meeting in December to discuss the plant manager role. So could be many opportunities coming in the horizon there.
Perfect. I think we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me, Austin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Megan.